For years, Dana Perino has been like a shining example of drive and class. Her confident vibe, quick brain, and super put-together style made people think of her as strong and winning in a tough world. She was the 26th White House press secretary for President George W. Bush from 2007 to 2009. Dana made history as only the second woman ever to have that job, after Dee Dee Myers back in the Clinton days. These days, she's a go-to political voice on Fox News and one of the fun co-hosts on The Five, where she still reaches and teaches millions. But behind that perfect pro look and her usual warm smile, there's a much sadder story. For years, Dana has quietly carried a super personal fight. Her husband's health has been getting worse and worse. She kept it private for a long time, but this tough lady finally opened up about the heartbreaking truth. In this video, we're going to walk you through it. But first, let's go back and look at Dana's whole story and the cute, random way she met Peter, the guy who's been her rock this whole time. Music. Okay, Dana Perino's life kicked off on May 9, 1972, in a small, quiet town called Evanston, Wyoming. Her family moved to Denver, Colorado when she was only 2, but Wyoming always felt like home in her heart. Summers at her grandpa's ranch taught her how to work hard, bounce back from stuff, and believe no problem is too huge. Her grandpa's super positive attitude rubbed off on her and gave her the toughness she'd need later. Her dad, Leo Perino, helped make her mind super sharp. At night, they'd sit together reading newspapers and chatting about the big news of the day. It wasn't just chit-chat, though. Her dad pushed her to really think hard and see every side of a story before picking one. That habit of thinking carefully stayed with her forever in her job. Dana took those lessons to Colorado State University, where she studied MAs, Communications, Political Science, and Spanish. She didn't just sit in class, she jumped right into TV stuff. She worked at KTSC-TV, a Rocky Mountain PBS station, and did crazy early shifts at KCY-FM radio. Waking up at 2 a.m. while doing school was rough, but it made her tougher and showed her she could handle anything. Her dreams kept growing. Dana got a master's degree from the University of Illinois Springfield while working as a reporter for WCIA, covering the busy state capital. That fast, high-pressure world taught her how to stay chill when things got wild, something that became her superpower later. From those little-town roots to the middle of Washington, D.C., Dana built her path on never giving up, staying curious, and wanting to understand everything around her. Those early days gave her the tools and confidence to deal with whatever came next, and set her up to become a big, respected name in political news. After her master's and working as a reporter, Perino made a brave jump into real politics. For Dana, it wasn't just a job. It felt like a chance to be part of something huge and actually change things. Her first political gig was as a staff assistant for Congressman Scott McInnes from Colorado. It wasn't fancy, but it let her see exactly how Congress works up close. From fixing schedules to handling a million tiny things, Dana learned fast that every little job matters in politics, and she always did them perfectly. Her hard work got noticed, and she got bumped up to press secretary for Congressman Dan Schaefer, who was dealing with giant energy issues. All of a sudden, Dana was right in the middle of complicated stuff everybody cared about. Like you'd guess, the pressure was intense. Every single word she said or wrote had to be perfect. But instead of freaking out, she loved it. Those first jobs were hard, but they taught her how to talk clearly, stay cool when things got crazy, and think fast on the spot. Every tough moment was a lesson. Every win moved her forward. She had no idea, Those skills would be the base for the huge career coming next. When Congressman Dan Schaefer retired in 1998, Dana had a big choice. She'd been killing it in D.C. and making a name for herself. But instead of grabbing the next job right away, she hit pause. She packed up and moved to the United Kingdom with her husband, Peter McMahon. It was a chance to breathe, reset, and see life differently. Living overseas gave her time to think and recharge, but she never really stopped loving politics. After 3 years, Dana came back to Washington, pumped to jump back in. In 2001, she became a spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Justice. She had to talk about really hard topics where every word counted big time. The pressure was wild, but Dana's calm, steady style made her stand out. By 2003, she moved up again and joined the White House Council on Environmental Quality as Deputy Communications Director. That job changed everything. Environmental stuff is always tricky, and Dana had to explain super complicated and often fought over things in a way people got. She got really good at making smart, clear messages while dodging all the political drama. Over time, her hard work and smart moves got her a great reputation inside the White House. Dana's career was flying high, but her biggest test was still coming. In 2007, when White House Press Secretary Tony Snow stepped down, they asked Dana to take over. The job was massive, and the pressure could scare anyone. Dana almost said no, but with some pushing from White House Communications Director Ed Gillespie, she went for it. Even then, she had tons of self-doubt. In a room full of fancy Ivy League grads, she sometimes felt like she had to prove herself extra hard. But instead of letting that stop her, she used it to push harder. She made sure she was always the most prepared person there, reading everything, researching like crazy, and getting better every day. Of course, being white House's press secretary for President George W. Bush was crazy hard. Non-stop briefings, instant decisions, and having to look calm while the whole world watched. The stress never let up. And after she left in 2009, it really affected her. Dana had ringing in her ears, tinnitus, for 2 whole years. One of the wildest moments happened in 2008 on a trip to Iraq. While President Bush was talking to reporters, some guy suddenly threw a shoe at him. In the mess, a Secret Service agent jumped to protect the president and accidentally smashed a microphone right into Dana's eye. She got a bad bruise, but even with the pain, she just kept working. No complaining, no drama, just pure grit to finish the job. After the White House, Dana had to figure out what was next. With a little nudge from Sean Hannity, she decided to try TV at Fox News. It was a whole new world with its own problems. Some people thought she couldn't go from government spokesperson to fair commentator. They just called her a Republican talking head. Dana didn't let that get to her. With her calm vibe, smart takes, and clear thinking, she slowly won people over. Shows like The Five and America's Newsroom let her show she was way more than just an insider. She became someone viewers trusted for honest, thoughtful opinions, even when news got messy. While Dana was out there crushing it on camera and building an awesome career, at home she was quietly dealing with some really hard stuff. As she gave sharp commentary and looked perfect on air, she was also carrying the heavy feelings of taking care of her partner. You see, Dana and Peter's love story is straight out of a rom-com. Dana wasn't even looking for love when she got on a flight from Denver to Chicago in August 1997, but destiny had plans. She sat down next to Peter McMahon, a charming British guy with a warm smile and curious eyes, and everything changed. He vibe in D.C. felt kinda yuck to her back then, and maybe this was the fresh start she needed. Peter had noticed the cute blonde with the bouncy ponytail walking down the jetway and hoped he'd get the seat next to her. Lucky him. He did. Dana heard his British accent, saw no wedding ring, and thought, "Wow, he's interesting." For the whole 2.5-hour flight, they talked non-stop and didn't want it to end. When they landed, Dana wanted him to be able to call her, but didn't want to look too eager. So, classic Dana, she just handed him a business card with her office number, fax, phone, and email. Peter got the message and emailed her, spilling all his feelings from that first chat. Dana didn't check her email for 10 whole days. Those days she could barely eat or sleep from nerves. Finally she read it, and boom, they picked right back up. They started running up huge phone bills, talking across the ocean from D.C. to the UK, until they decided to meet in New Orleans. Peter got to the airport super early, pacing like an excited teen. Dana's heart was racing. She knew she had to bolt off the plane or her nerves would win. Their romance went 0 to 100 super fast. Less than a year later, Peter proposed out of the blue outside the Washington Cathedral, saying it was the only way they could really be together. But Dana, being thoughtful, took her time. Exactly 1 year after they met on that plane, she gave him a long letter about their love and finally said yes. And just like that, they got married. Ever since they tied the knot in 1998, Dana and Peter's marriage has been full of total support and lots of laughs. Peter isn't just her husband. He's her safe place. The guy who can make her laugh and bring her back to earth with his jokes and chill attitude, especially when press briefings or Fox News got insane. While Dana handled the crazy public life, Peter was always there with a funny line or calm word to keep her steady. But even the best couples get to stead big time. Recently, Dana shared that Peter has been dealing with some really serious health problems. She kept the exact details private, but it's clear this isn't just a little hiccup. For a couple that's always had each other's backs, this came out of nowhere like a huge storm. All of a sudden, Dana wasn't just juggling her big job, she became Peter's main caregiver too. Handling a famous career and taking care of someone you love is super hard. And Dana had to figure out new ways to split her time and energy. This part of their life has been rough for sure, but it also shows how crazy strong their love is. The tough stuff made them face scary things together, and instead of pulling them apart, it made them closer. They leaned on the same respect, laughs, and support that got them through everything before. Even with his health issues, Peter stays positive and keeps inspiring Dana with how tough and determined he is. Dana has pulled strength from her own scary moment, a spot on her forehead that needed quick treatment, and that helped her understand what Peter's feeling. It reminded her life is fragile and made her want to cherish every second with him. Through all this, they've learned real love isn't only about the good times. It's about holding each other up when life hits hard. No question, Dana and Peter's story together proves how powerful love, teamwork, and never giving up commitment can be. The future might be unsure, but their connection has shown over and over that when two people stand together, they can get through the worst storms. As a famous person, Dana is always juggling her huge career and these super private struggles. Being on Fox News means staying cool and focused, even when everything at home feels chaotic. Pulling off that balance is tough, but Dana has been pretty open about it, letting fans see the real her behind the perfect TV look. He cares. Arouse her honesty makes people feel like she's just like us. Even super successful people have weak moments and feel unsure sometimes. But while she shares bits of her life, she's careful to keep Peter's privacy safe. That smart line she draws reminds everyone that some things should stay private. even if you're famous. It's that mix of being open and keeping some things just for them that makes fans love and trust her even more. Like we said, Dana and Peter's relationship is all about supporting each other and total trust. Through good and bad, Peter always cheered Dana on so she could shine at work, giving her the steady love that let her fly high. And now Dana has shown the same love, stepping up huge when Peter got sick, proving real partnership means being there for the wins and the super hard times. Peter's happy attitude and jokes have always kept Dana grounded, helping her deal with the crazy pressure of DC and TV. When life threw this curveball, their bond didn't break, it got stronger. Together, they've shown love isn't just happy moments and wins, it's standing strong when things get rough, adapting, lifting each other up, and finding power in one another when you need it most. In the end, Dana Perino's story is about balance, never quitting, and staying real. The kind of balance that seems impossible, but she makes it look easy. Whether she's handling wild political drama, helping Peter through his health stuff, or encouraging young women, Dana's life shows you can be successful and still stay true to who you are. Her books, and the good news is, and everything will be okay, share bits of this ride and the lessons she picked up. Dana doesn't pretend everything's perfect. She openly talks about feeling out of place or unsure sometimes. Instead of making success sound impossible, she says it's just about showing up, learning, and not quitting. Her stories hit home because they're honest, reminding us hard work and bouncing back matter way more than being perfect. Dana doesn't only give advice in books. Her Minute Mentoring program helps young women get fast, real tips for their careers. She knows not everybody has hours for long talks, so she gives advice you can use in just a few minutes, and sometimes that's all someone needs to get motivated. Away from the cameras, Dana loves the quiet stuff. She and Peter live in Bay Head, New Jersey, where life feels slower and they can just hang out and reconnect. Yeah, they have a New York City apartment for work, but Jersey is home. That's where she walks her dog Percy on the beach, gets lost in a good book, and relaxes. Those little routines keep her chill and happy, even with a crazy schedule. Her love for books is a huge part of her now. Through her book club, she shares her favorites and chats with authors, building a cool community of people who love stories. Her book, Everything Will Be Okay, is one she always suggests, especially to young women who need a little confidence and direction.